Hey guys, you're watching The Pitch. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to The Pitch with Fox, Beatoms, and Mitch. I'm your host John Fox, alongside here with Beatoms and Mitch Sabatelli. Top stories of the week. The Steelers defeat Rex Ryan and the Jets and move on to Dallas. How did they win?
Well, it's funny because Big Ben didn't even really have a great game. He was only 10 for 19, but it seemed like every one of his completions were huge completions. Rashad Mendenhall rushed for over 120 yards, had a touchdown. The defense really stepped up. Lawrence Timmons led the defense in tackles, which is pretty strange. I really like Pittsburgh in that game, and Mark Sanchez didn't have a terrible game either. He had a solid game, but Big Ben just gets it done in the playoffs, and Jets finally collapse.
They won because they were the better team.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, better defense, clearly the better offense. So
yeah.
There was no way I thought they were going to lose this game.
It's interesting to think if the Patriots did beat the Jets to see how they would have fared, because it seems like Belichick has Tomlin's number.
Yeah.
He has Big Ben's number. But, right now, the Steelers were a solid team throughout the whole entire year. It doesn't surprise me that they're in the Super Bowl.
I mean, when you have a running game like what they had, and what's his name? The other guy they had, too. He was doing pretty good.
No, Elton.
No, it wasn't Moore. It was the other guy. But, I mean, just anybody they threw out there, they would just destroy the Jets defense.
And Revis and Cromartie shut down Mike Wallace and Hines Ward, too. So Big Ben didn't have a lot to work with, but Rashad Mendenhall really picked it up, 120 yards.
And those were hard-fought, 120 yards, too. They were all up the middle.
And that was the difference between the Steelers and the Patriots. The Patriots don't have that really relying running game to go with. Ben Jarvis, Greenellis, and Teddy Woodhead, as great as story they are, they're not that legit, running back. Rashad Mendenhall is that guy, and the defense stepped up, so they had to rely on Mendenhall, and he got it done.
All right, moving on. The Packers they're the NFC champs. They defeat the Bears. How did they do that, Brian?
They did that by the Bears losing 2 quarterbacks. I mean, how are you going to win a playoff game with your third-string quarterback?
Yeah, and it's funny because Caleb Haney did better than Jay Cutler and Todd Collins combined. The guy B.J. Rashi had a huge interception there, and then he did that buckle thing that Aaron Rodgers does once he gets into the touchdown. That was pretty cool. And, the Packers are all pumped up, and it's great how they've done this all on the road. It's a great story of the Packers. Aaron Rodgers really picking it up. James Starks had another good game. I like what I see from Packers right now.
I do too, but I honestly still feel that if Jay Cutler stayed healthy, they could have pulled that game out.
They could have. And
I mean, it's not like they got completely blown out.
Yeah.
And they had their third-string quarterback.
How do you feel about that injury? You think he was milking it a little bit? You think he's not up for the big stage of the game?
I think he's legitimately hurt.
I mean, I guess they came out and said it was a torn MCL or whatever. I mean, I guess that's legit, but I mean,
that is
a lot of people
injury.
Play through those kind of injuries, though.
Yeah, but
especially in the big stage. But
if you get hurt one week, the next week it's easier to come back from it because you can prepare for it. If you get hurt mid-game, I personally had a knee injury, as you know, and even when I tweaked it playing, it's still just that feeling of the pain.
Yeah.
You don't have anything to get rid of.
Generally, I mean, I never had that kind of injury, but I would think in a big stage game you could probably play through it. You look at a guy's like.
Yeah, but you can't. That's the thing. It depends on how bad it is. He didn't have...
He was on the sideline standing, he was all walking, it looked pretty good.
Standing's okay, but when you try to run or drop back, that's when the pain would come.
The other thing is Jay Cutler, I look at Aaron Rodgers and Big Ben and guys like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, these guys get up for it, they're all pumped up in the sidelines. You see Jay Cutler is just kind of relaxed, snapping the ball, just kind of taking it easy going. I really wish he was more of a leader vocally on the sidelines. Even when he was hurt on the sidelines, he was just standing looking like a loaf over there. He wasn't doing anything. He should have given some encouragement to Caleb Haney, to Todd Collins, to try to lift everybody's spirits and think that they could actually go out there and beat the Packers. But I don't think
see what they should have done.
I don't think he's that leader.
They should have brought him into the locker room, given him some, give him a shot or something like pain medication.
Yeah.
And put a knee brace on. Then he could have gone back out, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And that's why he couldn't come back into play.
Yeah, Jay Cutler suffers from a lot of stuff. He's diabetic, so he's through those kind of things. I don't know if that takes into it a little bit, but I just didn't see him as that kind of leader on the sidelines. I think he could have. I don't know how bad the injury was, but I think he could have stepped up and did a little better. It's a shame because Bears are a good team, and if he was healthy, who knows? But Packers was a great team, great defense. Clay Matthews stepped up. All those. Sam Shields is doing great as corner. Charles Woodson's doing good. I mean, I really like that team.
All right. before we move on, we'll go into more depth. Just saying right now, we'll go into more depth about the Super Bowl predictions next week.
Break.
Yeah, keep in mind that these guys' records are tied for the whole season.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Playoff.
It comes down all the way down.
Comes down to
the Super Bowl.
Whoever they pick, they could tie
Pro Bowl,
or you could switch it up a little.
Who do you think's going to win the Pro Bowl?
NFC.
I'm not going to NFC.
All right, we'll count the Pro Bowl.
I just picked a random. I don't even know who's in it right now.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
Also, we have a poll on our Facebook page. We would love for you to vote in it. It's who do you think will win the Super Bowl? Right now, the Packers are leading 4 votes to 1. So only 5 votes. So we'd love to have some votes on that. But moving on, Pouncey is out for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
Yeah, this guy's a rookie, Maurkice Pouncey. He's their best blocker, and I think the main Achilles heel for the Steelers, offensively at least, is their offensive line. And really, Big Ben has to use his feet a lot to get away. And Pouncey's been their best blocker. He's completely center, he can play guard. He's really their lead blocker, helps out Mendenhall. This is actually a major blow, and he missed a few practices. I think losing Maurkice Pouncey is going to be huge.
Is he officially out? Or?
Yeah, he's been out of a couple practices, and I heard he's doubtful for the game. So, losing Pouncey is going to hurt, especially against Green Bay, and we all know about those pass rushes. Big Ben's going to have to step up. He's going to have to use his feet, and losing Pouncey is going to hurt.
Yeah, there's always someone else that can fill in. If they can do enough that one game, they can push their team ahead. But it is going to be a very uphill battle for the Steelers.
A couple years ago they had a guy, Alan Faneca. He was like their main guy. Since then, they don't have that big lead blocker, and that's what Maurkice Pouncey was looking like. But right now, I don't know. It's a major hole.
I say they just play him, see what happens. But
yeah, I don't think he's going to play though, but we'll see. He's got another week to heal. Yeah.
Now do all you can to make him heal.
Yeah. He's doubtful right now. Who knows?
All right, moving on to our final top story. Jeff Fisher out as the Titans head coach. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
What a shock. Not really. They've had a decent team and they've done nothing with it.
16 seasons?
He's the longest tenured coach. He's 16, 17, something around there.
Yeah.
Longest tenured, he's well respected in the league, but frankly, I think he's a little overrated. This guy,
and he's losing his edge too.
Yeah, he hasn't won a Super Bowl since he's been there, and 17 years to not win a Super Bowl, I think he should be fired by then. I know he's well respected in the Titans organization. It was weird. They were either going to let Fisher go or Vince Young go. I wonder if Vince Young stays on the team now. We'll have to wait and see. But I think the Titans need a young coach to come in, maybe help out Vince Young, maybe help out these younger guys.
They need somebody that can control the team too.
Yes.
Fisher didn't do that.
See, I don't think a Bill Cowher, I don't think would help out the Titans. I think they need a young guy like a Jim Caldwell, Mike Tomlin guy to kind of step up, kind of lead that team again. I think they need a.
They'll probably go and take someone from the Patriots.
Yeah, I think they should actually keep Vince Young and working with Kenny Brick. Kenny Brick looked good. Let Randy Moss go. I don't think he's going to resign with the Titans. I think he's going to get younger and kind of rebuild. So, it's sort of shocked that Jeff Fisher's gone, but
it is kind of sad to see it end.
Yeah, he was a good coach, and at least a well-respected coach, so we'll have to wait and see what they do.
All right, moving on to viewer questions. Brian from Boston asked us, will the Jets be Super Bowl contenders next year, and will they win the AFC East?
I think they'll be Super Bowl contenders next year. The only thing is Braylon Edwards and Santonio Holmes are both free agents. If they don't get those guys back, they're kind of screwed. I think they really need to re-sign those guys. But, most of their team's young. The whole defense is young. Darrelle Revis is only 25. Mark Sanchez is young, 24, whatever. Sean Green. The offensive line's pretty young. All they need is those receivers and another year of experience. I think they could be back.
I think if they add another running back, they'll be all set. Because I don't think LT is going to be that great.
I think we're all waiting for Sean Green to really step up.
Yeah, but you still need that second back.
Yeah.
Even someone like a Chester Taylor or something
I think you can live with an LT for another year. I don't think that's their main concern. Really, they just need those wide receivers back. And, they've been to the AFC Championship 2 years in a row. I think another year of experience, I think they can almost get back there. Maybe they'll win.
Maybe upgrade the offensive line a little more.
Yeah, but I think
that way Sanchez will feel really secure back there.
Yeah, the offensive line's pretty solid.
Shaw
Ferguson, you can go down the list. Nick Mangold, Brandon Moore. But as far as the division goes, I think the Patriots are going to see them make a lot of moves actually right now.
Oh yeah.
You got a lot of guys out there. Chad Ochocinco, who's by the way now Chad Johnson. Changed his name again.
After 3 years.
Yeah, he might come back. He wants to go to the Patriots. I don't know if Bill Belichick's going to allow that. Lamar Woodley.
He let Randy Moss come. So.
Yeah. Lamar Woodley, pass rusher for the Steelers, great pass rusher. He's out there. I think
we could use that.
Yeah. So I think they're going to make a lot of moves, and maybe you look at a guy like Steven Jackson, who's
trade some of the draft picks.
Yeah, they're loaded with draft picks. They have a lot of pieces to move. They can maybe get a Steven Jackson. I don't think Ben Jarvis Greenhouse. I know he was a great player for this year. I don't think he's their future running back. I think you're going to see him maybe try to go after Steven Jackson. So as far as division,
I say trade Danny Woodhead.
Well, they just locked up Danny Woodhead for 3 years.
But that doesn't mean.
I think Fox retiring, Kevin Fox, and they were really replacing him. I think I'd keep Danny Woodhead.
Woodhead could fit in there, true.
If I wanted to keep Woodhead or Manjarvis, I'd let Manjarvis go. Maybe bring in, like I said, like a Steven Jackson.
I think Woodhead has a little more
value.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get a pick for him, I don't think it's worth it. The guy was great for us this year. Maybe it was just his first year. It was hard for defenses. I don't know, but
I mean, we still have Fred Taylor, don't we?
Yeah, but I think he'll retire too. I think Sammy Morris is gone. I think
Fred Taylor hasn't been a good
I think it's going to be Danny Woodhead
Sammy
and
Morris
else.
is a fullback. He's not really a running back.
Yeah, but still.
Well, how many?
Who would you say is the leader for the division next year? Who would you take? Jets, or Pats, or Miami?
I'm still sticking with the Pats.
Pats.
Because I know Bill Belichick's going to do something.
Yeah, I think
whether it's in the draft or
by the way, he had a great draft this year, and I think he with more picks this year, I think he could do even better.
Maybe we draft a running back.
Yeah, they have Oakland's pick, who we thought that was going to be a higher pick, but 16, that's pretty solid. Who knows if you can trade that down? Then you get a lot of picks.
Package a first and third round for another first.
Something like that.
All right.
Move up, get Ja'Cory.
Next viewer question. Luke from San Diego. Oh, we already touched upon this earlier. He asked our opinion on Cutler's injury.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the next question. Jason from Tampa Bay asks, what was the biggest surprise of the playoffs?
Biggest surprise of the playoffs.
I think Seattle beating the Saints.
Yeah, Seattle.
That was the biggest surprise.
I think maybe Green Bay, too. Green Bay coming, on the road, I know they're a great team, but going past the Saints, Falcons, Philly, those 3 teams were the main teams that are going in the NFC. I don't know, that's my opinion.
The thing is, I never doubted Green Bay.
No, they had so much injuries throughout the whole season. I think Mike McCarthy's done a great job with that team, bringing them back together, getting focused.
I think that's the best story, but I don't think it's the most surprising.
I don't know. You look at a guy like James Starks, who's having a good season. The defense is really stepping up too. When you lose a Riley Grant and Jermichael Finley to that offense, and still become one of the best offenses in the league, and have Aaron Rodgers do that great, I think that says something. But yeah, I go Seattle, taking down the Saints.
I think the Patriots losing is a bigger surprise than Green Bay.
Especially the way they came out. It wasn't like you thought if they're going to lose, you thought it was going to be like a shootout or something. Yeah. Brady really.
Well, I think it's less surprising because the Jets have beat us before. And
I know. But the way the Patriots dominated the whole season, everybody expected them to be in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl.
The way the Patriots dominated the season, they went 18-1. Everybody it wasn't a surprise that they lost.
No, that was the Giants. If you're going back to the Giants, that's a clear surprise. But
I just think that's more surprising than Green Bay making it this far.
I don't know. Well, that's my opinion. But
Green Bay's just a great team.
I was just saying that I still think Seattle was probably the biggest surprise, especially the way they came out. But that was a great game against Saints, how they had all those points. But it kind of diluted a little bit the next game, how they just lost. But still, I'd go Seattle too. That's probably the biggest surprise.
All right, that's about all we have for top stories. So. Coming up in our next segment, we'll have NBA, NHL, and
all-star rosters, NBA.
Yes, MLB at the bottom of the list. Do you think we'll have a 3-potter or 2?
I don't know. We'll see.
All right, we'll have to wait and see. See you in a few.